Hi, my high school students. It's Miss Rebecca. I'm here to teach you art this summer. I hope you guys are ready and you have your pencils and your paper because this week we're learning about line. We're gonna make a lot of cool different types of lines and we're gonna make it into a face. So let's go, let's get started. Okay, high school students, we're going to be focusing on line this week. And we're going to make a line by folding our paper, by lining up the corners, the edges, and then pressing down and making a flat fold, which also makes a line that divides our paper right down the middle in half. Now we're going to do another fold by lining up the corners and pressing down the fold. And this creates another line with the fold. It's horizontal, vertical, horizontal, and we're going to make a face, but we're going to make a crazy face using lines. So let's start on the fold and let's follow that fold down all the way to the center of your paper, which is where this fold, this horizontal line crosses. So that's the center. So we're going to draw that vertical line and stop. And this is going to be where the nose starts. Now we're going to make a vertical line following the fold, and we're going to stop. We're going to stop before the edge of the paper, because this is going to be the big nose part. Now we're going to make a vertical line that is parallel. Parallel means that these are in line with each other, parallel. And this is vertical. And we're going to make another horizontal line here, which is also parallel with that line. Now we're making this L shape, so we're just going to close it off here, and that is the nose. I know it doesn't look like a nose yet, but it will. Now, find this line, this vertical line, find the middle of it. It doesn't have to be perfect. And let's make a curved line. It's like a frown. It goes all the way from here all the way up and to the edge of your paper. And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom. And this is called an ellipse, when two curves create this football shape. The fancy word is ellipse. Then we're making a horizontal line going all the way across. Horizontal, horizontal, horizontal. So this is the eye. Now an eye has to have the iris, which is the color part of your eye, and a pupil. The pupil is the black spot in the eye. So now we have the nose and we have the eye. Now since we want this to be interesting, we're going to add variety by putting not the eyes right next to each other, but one eye is going to be a little bit lower, okay? So we'll start a little bit lower than that eye and make another curve all the way to the edge of the paper. And yes, it's going to be bigger or smaller. That's okay, because when you add variety, it looks better. And then the curve that comes to meet it. So again, you have two curves or an ellipse, and you have a straight horizontal line, goes from side to side. You have your iris and your pupil. Ooh. Now, we're going to also make a mouth. So let's make a line that goes straight down, which is vertical. And now kind of use your little ghost finger and figure out, do I want this mouth big? Do I want it small? Do I want lips, or do I just want a straight mouth? So figure out how big you want your mouth. For me, I'm going to make it about this big. One side, and then the other side. It's like a curve, like the curve we made for the eye. And again, we're going to make a curve at the bottom. And again, two curves is an ellipse. We're going to make a horizontal line here, and that is the mouth. Okay, now draw another line coming down, a vertical, and then we're going to make a curve that goes right off the paper and another curve that goes right off the paper. So now you can kind of see what's happening. You have two eyes, you have a nose, you have a mouth. Now we're going to make the eyebrow. If you want an eyebrow, you can add another curve, two curves. If you don't want an eyebrow on this side, you don't have to have one. If you want eyelashes, you can add eyelashes with vertical lines, vertical or curved lines. All right, so this is the basic features of the face. So now we're going to go a step further, and we're going to make sections. This looks like a nice section right here because it's not too big, not too small. But these big cheek sections, we could break up into two parts. So let's add a horizontal line there and a vertical line here. How about? Just to break up some of these sections, because now we're going to be creating very detailed lines inside each section. Okay, so let's start out on the top section. Let's start out with vertical lines. Vertical, just go up and down. You notice that they're all very close together. Now, is there anywhere else you'd like to put these vertical lines? It could be anywhere. I think I'll just put these on the bottom. Ooh. I'm sure you can make them neater than I did. So we have vertical, up and down lines. Now let's do some horizontal lines. How about in the nose? I'm just picking any section. Ooh, there we go. Now, let's do some polka dots. Polka dots, polka dots. In this section. And how about some circles in this section? What else could we do? What's another kind of line? How about wavy lines? And I'm filling up this whole part here. And how about loop-de-loops? And what else could we do? Little zigzags. And now let's try to do a pattern. So a pattern is anything that repeats. Let's see here. Let's do a dot pattern that goes with 3 lines. 1, 2, 3, and then 3 dots. and 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. What else could we do? This is looking very interesting. Now, you don't have to do every single section if you don't want to. I'm going to leave these 3 sections off because then I can just fill in these sections with a color. Okay? So now you can use anything you have at home, markers or crayons, oil pastels or paint. All right. So I always like my oil pastels. And then fill in each section with a bright there's one section in yellow. I think for this eye I'm going to do 2 colors in the eye. A light green and a dark green. And then maybe I'll change to pink. So each section, I want you to color a different color. Try your best to stay in the lines. And for each section, maybe only stick to 2 colors.